So I want to share with you an experience that occurred in my life about 42 years ago. I was a practicing eye doctor and vision scientist, and like many of you, I wore glasses. I couldn't drive without my glasses. I didn't see well without my glasses. If you took me to the eye doctors to examine my eyes, all I could see without my glasses was the big E on the chart. And in 1971, I was introduced to meditation, and so I used to meditate every day. And so on this particular Sunday, I sat in my room, I took off my glasses, I closed my eyes, and I began to enter into this state of meditation. And then something profound occurred. I don't know what occurred, but Jacob disappeared. And there was total clarity. There was a sense that something was observing Jacob in the room meditating. And everything was crystal clear. Not just the room and Jacob, but the air that we think is empty was sparkling. It was just scintillating. And whatever was seeing seemed to be seeing from everywhere. Don't ask me how that's possible, but that's the way it was. At a certain point, the meditation ended, and my eyes opened, and to my amazement, my eyesight was crystal clear. It was so shocking that I put my eyeglasses on the seat next to me in the car, and I drove to my office. I sat in my chair 20 feet away from the eye charts. I kept pressing the projector, bringing up different eye charts, and I could continually see 300% better than I had seen before without my glasses. Could see one line below the 20/20 line. And this was happening without squinting or straining. It was just free of charge. So I said, gosh, what happened here? So I decided to examine myself. So I put myself behind the instrument. I first put in some lenses in there to make everything blurry so I wouldn't know what the starting point was. And then I started asking myself that famous question all of you have heard. Is it better number one or number two? Trust me, it was just as confusing for me as it was for you. I started changing the lenses, and when I came to what was obviously the best optical prescription, I came out from behind the instrument thinking for sure the instrument would say 0, plano, no prescription. But when I came out, the measurements on the instrument were almost identical to the prescription in my glasses. Let me explain that to you again. Something was seeing 300% better, but my eyes had not changed at all. What do you conclude about that? When all of your training basically says that when your eyes deteriorate, your prescription gets stronger. So you figured, well, if I'm seeing better, even though it's supposed to be impossible, the prescription would get weaker. But nothing changed. And I was seeing 300% better. Why am I sharing this with you? This change occurred instantaneously. I didn't do anything. I didn't intend anything. I didn't choose anything. Nothing. It came by itself, and whatever it was, it seemed to bring my system back to its default setting. Maybe the way it came out of the factory. Maybe that's what occurs, an instance of grace that results in what we call a spontaneous remission.